than you did the previous week, great, we're up 10%. If you ran 3 or 4 more play action passes, great, we're up because you only snapped the ball 48 times. The reality was, again, everything was hard for this offense. If you watch it, they got 3 points out of their 24 because the Hail Mary pass interference. They got 7 points because on 3rd down, Brady throws a check down to Shady McCoy, and he gets a hit to the helmet, questionable call by Harrison Smith. That leads to a touchdown. And then on 3rd and 5, Brady navigates the pocket and throws that bomb to Scotty Miller. So, again, everything is hard. There's not a lot of things that are easy on this offense. And I'd say the easiest thing that I could say is, you got to burn your ego before it burns you. Right now, whoever's got the ego in that offense has got to let it go. If it's Bruce Arians and you think you could run your offense that you had a ton of success with in the NFL, it's not working that well. If it's Tom Brady who's come down and said, you know what, I want to show everyone that I can be successful in an offense that I haven't had in New England, you got to drop that because it's not working. I can't sit here and say that I'm more confident in a Super Bowl run than I am in an opening round playoff victory.
Interesting. Yeah, well, the interesting part about this to me is that, remember, Tom Brady signed with the Bucs in part because all these weapons he'd have, right?
Yeah.
Well, last year in the first 8 games of the season, with what was perceived by many as a very weak group of pass catchers, Tom Brady averaged 281 passing yards. This year, 268 passing yards per game, Key. So how concerning are those numbers for you, if at all?
Not at all. I think when you look at the column of the W's and the L's, that's all I really care about as a football player and as a head coach. Tom Brady's 15 to 23 for a little less than 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's all I care about. I care about the W's, and I know what happened is much like you said, we've been watching Tom Brady for about 15 years really deal at the quarterback spot, Dan. And so our minds and our eyes have told us this is what Tom Brady does. Right. How about the fact that we just want to win? Never mind 5 wides out, never mind 4, never mind empty personnel, never mind pushing the ball down the field. Being efficient, playing solid defense, and getting out with W's is all that matters.
Yeah, we know W's matter, but it don't look good. And the W's mattered in Pittsburgh, and we starting to see their house fall apart. Listen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are no better team than when we saw them earlier this year. Yeah. And when we start talking about Tampa, they did not sign a quarterback to a 2-year, $50 million deal to take a year to figure out what they're going to do offensively. They brought Tom Brady in to be Super Bowl relevant this year. This year, he's 43 at that. So when you look at Tampa, and yes, they're 8-5, they're trying to backdoor into the playoffs and have some successful things happen, but this team is not performing well. That's the bottom line. So now we getting into the conversation of the real part of the season, the second half, the playoffs, and what can they do? When we're projecting and looking at how this team has functioned, they are not going to win playoff games like this. They are not going to make it to the Super Bowl. And if somebody on the panel at NFL Live or somebody within that Tampa Bay organization can call me and say, yeah, we had a plan for the first year to be figuring things out and trying to see if we can get it going, and then next year will be the year with a 43-year-old quarterback, then I'll sit back and won't ever say anything about it. But that ain't what the hell they thought. Right. They thought when Tom Brady came, like everybody in America, that when Tom Brady was inserted with all of this talent, that they were going to be a Super Bowl contender. And if anybody has watched Tampa play, they do not look like a Super Bowl contender right now.
And I agree, because here's the thing, as we go, we got 3 weeks left. The playoffs start in 3 weeks. Are they better than the Packers?
How much time you need?
Are they better than the Saints? Nope. Are they better than the Rams? Nope. Are they better than the Seattle Seahawks? Nope. So now, at best, I can put them 5. I look at them like I look at the Giants. Hey, the Giants play really good defense, and if the quarterback plays good football, I can believe in you.
Dan, come on, man. Stop.
That's the way I see it.
Dan, stop.
Keith, what are they doing? What do they do offensively that you point to and says that's going to carry them in the playoffs?
They first of all, forget New England and Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady could turn on the switch at any given moment. You know that, and I know that. All it takes is to get into the playoffs.
Of course,
something that they kind of teetering on. I think they'll get in. They got Atlanta twice. I think they'll get into the playoffs. Once they get in the playoffs, all bets are off for everything. Everything's all bets are off.
Do you believe in them more than those 4 teams that I said?
Give me the teams again.
Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, and the Rams.
I don't believe in them more than I believe in the Rams. Green Bay is interesting.
Not
Because
the Saints.
if Green Bay has home field advantage throughout, taking Tampa down to that cold could be a little bit of a problem for them.
All right, Swagoo, final word to you here. We know you certainly had some passion about this. Where do you land on the Bucs?
Man, listen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ain't ready to make no run at the Super Bowl. And we can talk about, one and done in the playoffs. We all get it. We all played this game. But the other good teams are one and done as well. So give us something to see if you can really do it. And right now, they haven't. That's why we having this conversation. We can talk about, they can turn it on. No, they've been trying to turn it on. We've been listening to their press conferences about what they trying to do and how they trying to get this thing in order. Dude, we in week 15. Like all of these other teams are trending in the right direction. Tampa comes off a bye week and looks the exact same as a football team. There is nothing that makes me think they can win a Super Bowl.
I can't with y'all. They won the game.
Here's the good news.
Won.
The good news is the debate will be settled on the field. But that's not the only team that's interesting right now in the NFC South, as we have a couple of injury updates. Let's get back to Adam Schefter here. And Adam, of course, the biggest injury update in football right now surrounds Drew Brees.
Yeah, Field, and he still has not been activated off the injured reserve list. And unless he's activated, he can't play. And the longer this goes on, the more you wonder. But we do know this. We know that the Saints did not want to put him back into a game until he was close to or at 100% recovered from the 11 fractured ribs and the punctured lung. And we also know that he did not have full range of motion. We'll see whether that comes back this week. If not, Taysom Hill. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones is dealing with a sprained ankle in addition to his hamstring injury. So 2 leg injuries here that cloud his status for Sunday's game and whether or not he'll be able to play against the Arizona Cardinals. If he can't play, or Cleveland Browns, if he can't play, it'll be Colt McCoy going up against his former team. And also, we should mention that Julian Edelman was back at practice today for the New England Patriots, and the 49ers opened the window for George Kittle to return to play, though Deebo Samuel will not play again this season.
Okay, so potentially some reinforcement for New England and San Francisco on the way. Thank you, Shefty. Back to you in just a little bit. Speaking of New England, rookie quarterbacks recently have basically had no chance against Bill Belichick. However, Tua Tagovailoa, we have something to say about that this Sunday. We'll have everything on Tua and Belichick right when we return on NFL Live.
One side circle in the block, two sides,